Hey man. Hey, what's up everybody? Out here in IT Park right by the Iloilo Mall. Back from Iloilo. I've actually been back a little bit. Just been running around. Lots of stuff going on here with Cebu. But wanted to do a quick video and talk real quick about Iloilo, kind of what my experiences were out there, kind of the differences between here in Cebu, Cebu City and Iloilo, as well as kind of Duma, because I know those are the cities that a lot of you guys are really interested in. So I've been thinking about this for a while. I wanted to shoot a quick video. Now I want to say, look, right, I spent a weekend in Iloilo, hardly an expert, but so it's on first impressions, really. What was my first impressions of Iloilo, what I liked, what are some of the concerns that I had about living in that area. Right away, let me just say, I loved being there. It was one of the first cities that I kind of traveled to and went to that I was like, I could actually live here. So that's what this video is going to be about. I made some kind of notes, the kind of talking points to go over. So let's get into it real quick. Transportation and how to get around. So they do have Grab and they do have taxis out there. So it's very similar to kind of what you would see here in Cebu City. So it is easy to get around versus like a Duma where they don't have Grab or taxis. So you're pretty much, your own transportation is needed. Now, I would say that your own transportation is also needed in Iloilo, but maybe you can actually get a bicycle, like an e-bike. I think that would be a great way to get around the city there. Yeah, so biking, very much a biking community there. They've got bike paths all throughout the city. I think somebody said recently that there was over 20-something different kilometers of bike paths there, all along the river walks. That is something I didn't at all explore when I was there. I just didn't have time. So transportation looks like it would be still a city, not really a walking city like here in Cebu. I feel like you really are a walking city here. It's easy to get around with cabs or motorbikes or any of that stuff. What were some of the other things that I saw about Iloilo in comparison? Yeah, one would be dating and the women. What is that kind of scene like? And I would say right away it looked a lot more conservative there. The dress and how people are dressed and walking around there. There you'd see, very common to see women in dresses, full dresses, sleeves. Here, Cebu is it's a little edgier. A little more tattoos, short sleeve shirt, tank tops, that kind of deal. Iloilo, they're a little more conservative. A lot more dresses in that kind of way. Bigger families. It really actually, Iloilo reminds me of the Midwest. Think of like Salt Lake City and that area, right? Kind of what Iloilo. So, I don't know. Is that really good for dating? Probably. I think if you're looking for like a wife or a long-term girlfriend, I think Iloilo would be a great fit. But to date around a little bit, maybe. Definitely better than Duma. When you look at the population of the three cities we're talking about, Cebu City, Iloilo, and Duma, the population here in Cebu City is 1.5 million. The population of Iloilo is 500,000, and the population of Duma, I believe, is right around 150,000. So, it is kind of that city that's right in between. I do feel like it's that city that is right in between the three. So if you're looking for a little bit smaller city than Cebu, Iloilo might be a great option. Something a little bit bigger than Duma. So, and it is one that a lot of foreigners are really checking out. And, that brings up another thing. There really is not a big foreigner presence there. Not at all. So, we were wandering around and I don't think we really saw any foreigners other than the three of us. So another thing to kind of talk about, which I saw a little bit on, but not a ton, would be the housing. So my buddy was moving out there, and that was one of the reasons why I was out there, was just hanging with him. So he was moving out there. So there is condo living out there. You can get a nice condo. They seem to be priced very compared to Cebu City and maybe BGC, where you can get, in the 20 to 30,000 range for, one bedrooms. So very, very similar to Cebu City in the pricing from the initial look. Another thing that I kind of had in my notes was the malls, right? The malls are a big factor here. It's a source of, entertainment for you guys to get out and about, look at different things, do some things. Actually, really quick, check out this tree over here, guys. They must have had some type of concrete platform there while they were pouring this area. It's just, the roots on this is just nuts. That's epic. But yeah, so yeah, the malls, really big, really modern, massive SM mall there, lots of eateries and shops. The movie theater looks great. It's an IMAX theater there. Yeah, I would say it's more modern than Cebu in some ways as far as the shopping mall and that kind of area. Really nice, nicely done, really clean. Yeah, overall I would think about Iloilo. I think maybe it's a good second town. I think you start your journey probably here in Cebu, maybe Manila, then maybe work your way, once you kind of get your feet, you know, on the ground and you figure out how to do your immigration and all that stuff, Iloilo might be a good option for that second visit, right? That second town you're looking to go in. I think it's you know, a great bicycling town if you wanted to get around by bicycle. My buddy's actually looking to buy an e-bike. Hey, good afternoon. Buying an e-bike and get around the city that way. I do feel like that's probably a great way to get around the city is by e-bike. So if that appeals to you, you know, it might be a great town for that. For a first foreigner visit, like starting off in Iloilo, I'm not sure, right? I go back to my thought where it's nice to have foreigners around you when you first get here, and then branch off. So, you know, Iloilo might be that good second town, really. What are some of the unknowns and potential issues of living there? So when I was thinking about this, dating came up for me, right? It would be a potential issue or some of the unknowns. You just don't, it's hard to tell what it's going to be like out there. I feel like maybe it's super conservative, where it's going to be a slow roll, and I think that's pretty accurate. Again, these are just quick assessments and judgments, but versus Cebu, where I think you could date really easily and abundantly, and then also too, you know, better than Dumaguete for sure, right? Because there's just no population there. So dating would be a little bit of an unknown. Power outages. While I was out there, a lot of people were commenting, hey, what's the power like? Are there any issues? Are you having any problems? I actually didn't have any power issues at all, and that's because I was staying in places that had generators, right? So I had no power issues at all. So, but if you're in a house or somewhere like that, like I know the Canadian couple, they had some power issues and continue to do. It's because they're in a house with no generator. So a lot of the modern condos, places like that, are going to have generators. So the local power grid and the problems that it's having may or may not be an issue depending on where you live. Housing cost is kind of an unknown. You know, for the pricing, honestly, if you're talking pricing similar to Cebu Business Park, if you're IT Park, or even like BGC, if you're talking similar prices to that actually, to me, it sounds a little bit overpriced for maybe a kind of a province area, province town. I mean, you know what I mean? So I don't know, that was kind of a little bit of a red flag for me. It's definitely not a big, huge cost saving as far as housing from the initial stuff that I'm seeing. And then also too, another thing that's kind of unknown is the outlying areas to me. What are the outlying areas like? I mean, Cebu, you've got all kinds of stuff going on here. You go to the south, you got Mobol, you got Oslab, you got waterfalls over, you got, you know, canyoneering. There's just so much to do right here. The outlying areas, I don't know, right? We went over to Gamiris Island. It was okay. I mean, to me, I still prefer Camotes and Bantayan. So the outlying area to me in the, what's that, Panay Island is a little bit of an unknown, a potential issue. And then traffic is another note that I have here. We actually had some really bad traffic there. I know a lot of people don't like Cebu City because of the traffic. And as you can see here, look, there's a lot of traffic right now, right? But we actually had some traffic issues when I was there in Iloilo. It took over an hour to do a trip that took 20 minutes. So, and so when I got there at 5 in the morning, it was a 20-minute trip. But when I left at 6 in the afternoon, it was an hour trip, right? So they got traffic. So, and then the other thing to me that was kind of, that I put down was an issue or a potential thing is really the local dialect. Look, anytime you're in an area, in a region, it's a good idea to pick up on some words there. So there they speak Ilongo, which is a dialect that's local to that region. And for me, being in this Bisaya region, I would prefer to be in a region that speaks Bisaya because that's what I'm learning. And it is important to know some words in the local dialect. So you would have to learn a little bit of Ilongo and, you know, just simple stuff. You could probably get by. Like for me, you know, when I was there, we wanted to say good morning to people. You know, so it's Mayong Buntag here, Mayong Buntag here in Bisaya, or Magandang Umaga in Luzon, but there it's Mayonaga, right? So just kind of things like that that are minor. But all in all, man, I'm going to say Iloilo, I mean, I might end up there in 10 months. I'm here in Cebu through October, but who knows after that? I really don't know. But I do have to say I I really love the city. I was impressed by the biking, the bike paths. That just seems awesome. I was really impressed too by the friendliness of the locals and just the openness. You know, I really liked it in the modern way. It's just really incredible. So, hey guys, that's all for this video. So I'll be back in a little bit, and well, the next video is coming up. They're mainly Sinulog. There's so much going on here in the town of Sinulog. That's actually why there's so much traffic. It's just the town's really booming right now. So we'll be back in a little bit with some next videos. We'll see you guys. Hi, hey. Cool. Yeah, it's great.